Hey, who are you and what do you do?
I go by Xavier Eubanks. I'm a fashion designer and a brand consultant.
Got it. Appreciate you for taking this meeting with me, man. Hey, so what were you telling me? What did you call that you say if you're serious about putting like a brand together, you got what type of sheet was that?
It's called a brand identity sheet. It's pretty much the easiest way to describe a brand identity sheet is like what's your signature? Like James Brown has a signature dance. Certain people have a signature hairstyle, so forth and so on. So basically, these are the ingredients of what your signature is. Like when you see this or you see these colors, you see the symbol, it's automatically going to speak to what your brand is and what your brand represents.
Got it. And who should have this?
If you're collecting money for a brand, you should have it. Everybody should have it.
Got it, because it lets you work with multiple different what manufacturers, or does it get you
It,
more?
it, it gives you the ability to almost streamline the process when you're working with anyone that's going to be doing any type of branding, marketing, or identification for you or your brand. This can go as far as your business cards, all the way up to if you're doing stuff on television. These are all the things you want to kind of want to follow you because your branding is your lifeline. Your branding is going to be almost your elevator pitch when you don't have the opportunity to make that said elevator pitch. They should be able to kind of take in the information and say, okay, I see what this looks like, what this stands for, and then be able to proceed forward.
Mm. It kind of reminds me of in my industry, I have what's called a capability statement. It shows it tells a little about my company, my competencies, my past performances, my contact information, and my differentiators, right? And what I do at networking opportunities is I have conversations with people, and if it's a networking opportunity, majority of the conversation is about them. But when I'm leaving the conversation, I hit them with, "Hey, is it not okay for me to send you my capability statement?" And then it gives me a reason to have to follow up with them later. It seems like somebody that got a brand sheet can build a lot of contacts, and then at the end of the day say, "Hey, I'll send you my brand identity sheet. We could probably work together."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like basically with this can go off to anyone that you're working with. Like we're talking about making some merchandise for you. So it's as simple as saying, hey, brand identity sheet, alternate logo too. Just that simple. I don't have to keep spelling it out to you. I don't have to hold your hand. I don't have to do any of that stuff for you. This is who I am from top to bottom. I want you to use this aspect about it and turn it into a hat. And it's just that simple. So if like example, if I was to reach out to a manufacturer and said, hey, I want to do a t-shirt with just text across the front of it. I already have three different variations of text. They already know what font to use. I don't have to send them a font. I don't have to send them any PNGs or any PDFs to get the work done. It's all included in one sheet. They can just pull directly from it.
So it's kind of like what, like a PNG file, or what type of file are you typically
What I
sending?
usually send out is I usually send out a PDF
Okay.
because it doesn't lose resolution. And that's something that you always have to factor in, especially if you work dealing with someone that does graphics. Because the higher the quality the image is, of course, that's going to go down, trickle down. You can't make a low quality image look high quality. You can make a high quality image look low quality. So you always want to start at the top of the top and then work your way down. So with a PDF, that gives you the opportunity to have something that's a little bit more high definition and it won't change in quality as you increase the size.
So yeah, that sounds like to me, you want to make sure to retain all of your options. One of those old sayings, uh, a smart man can pretend to be dumb, but a dumb man can't pretend to be smart, right? You saying, hey, a quality image, as long as if you make sure they only have the best quality image, they can distort or whatever they want to do to it, depending on what look you're trying to go for. But if you're already sending them a low quality image, you just drastically limited yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, bet, man. So I just wanted people, like, cause me and you, we got this meeting set up. I just wanted anybody that might be listening and watching this on the Entrepreneur This podcast to see that you know your stuff, and you helping me out with what I'm trying to do, so we can get into the meeting, man. And I want them, to to see how much I don't know about this and how you're gonna help me out. But I
I got
appreciate it. All
no, I
right,
got it.
so what's up? So what questions do you need from me and all of that?
Well, I know you said you had your general logo, and that's enough for me to start from, because what you want to have is, of course, your main logo. Like the best way to put this is like, think of a Nike logo. Nike has just the swoosh. They have the swoosh with the word Nike. They have the word Nike. They have the swoosh with the Nike and Nike Air. These are all considered individual logos, and they use those in different areas on what they do. They can't put on the side of a shoe the Nike logo, the Nike swoosh, and the Nike Air. That's overcomplicating the thing. You want to just have a symbol. So you always want to at least have your symbol. You want to have a text-based logo that includes your symbol, and then you want to have something that's just indicative. As soon as you see it, there's no question about it. You know that's my logo. You can't really confuse it. Something unique. And then, of course, with your banners, headers, letterhead, cards, etc., you want to have just your text by itself. So just this section alone is going to put yourself in a position to where you can. These are all the logos you technically would need to have a brand, if you will. You got your text-based logo, you got your symbol. That's really all you need. Now, if you're starting to get into like branching out and making merchandise, or you're going to be touching different areas of things, then that's when you want to have like things like alternate logos and everything like that. And that's pretty much what this section is for. So when I say alternate logos, they can be used for different things. So you can just say, this is just my logo I use on social media. This is just my logo I use on hats, etc. So example of that would be, I use this only on shoes. That's it. It goes on shoes, it goes on the insole of my shoes, but it still has my verbiage and it has a piece of the original logo. So it always speaks back to it. The 20XX, I have that just because most brands or most identities establish when they start. I am building a timeless brand, so the XX means fill in your own blank. There is no start point. This is timeless. And then, of course, I have regular symbol-based icons. Those are things I would use for like hats or a little small hit on the front of a t-shirt, things of that nature. Now, all of these things can still be that. I just have a clothing brand, so I make different clothes, so I have different logos for myself. Once you've established that and identify, okay, these are kind of my imprints. That's usually what I call it. Then you want to say, what's the colors of my brand? What colors I want to speak to people. Some people like to use like royal colors because they want to exude, opulence or a higher quality. And that's something I'm doing with my brand as well. Gold is usually tied to opulence. Red is usually tied to like hard work and soul and anger. So for my brand, I have my main colors, which are these: black, white, gray, gold. And then I have my alternate, and those are things that are used for alternate things. Or if I ever want to transition to new colors, I'm already prepared for that and I already have the language for it. So that's what these things will be. Almost like accent colors, like hot links will be red, things like that on your website. Mm-hmm. Then you want to be as uniform as possible when you're presenting things to people, which is why I have the standard fonts to use for everything that I do. If you notice, this is the same font that's here, here, and here. And this font is here, here, and that's it. I don't use this font very much. I use it basically for my shoes. So I have my standard font, and then I have my alternate font, if you will. Mm-hmm. With any brand, you got to run a social media, and you want to have imaging that will fit in that small little thumbnail that's easily can be spot even from far away. So standard logo, alternate, and this is one I use specifically for Instagram. And the reason I do that is because this black area is usually filled with what I'm promoting next. So it's a very bold logo. I can fill it in and it's easily recognizable. So that's my brand sheet. I have everything positioned in a way to where I can just kind of pick and choose. And I say, this is for hats, this is for shirts, so forth and so on. This is a little bit more in depth or a lot more options just because of what I do. Now, with like what you're doing, you have a podcast, you have your brand, and you're doing like consulting and everything like that. It all can technically be just this section. It's when you start to get into like you're doing subsidiaries of your brand, or like for entrepreneurs, it's like entrepreneurs, real estate. Then that's when you'll start getting into stuff like this with your alternate logos or anything like that. Or if you have like for your Patreons, if you have a special name for your Patreons, like bag chasers or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, I don't know. This is kind of where you'll kind of have that type of information. So it's like, this is the default. This is like almost right up under it. Like speaking to your individual people, like we talk about demographics and things like that a lot. These are where you're going to start speaking to demographics. So like even an example, like with my regular Chevron logo, I have alternates of that Chevron logo for barbers where it's just the razor blade and it's in that shape like a Chevron, or painters or skateboards and things of that nature. So that's when you get into like these type of things and you're speaking to specific demographics. This is just your insignia. This is like, you don't know who I am. This is what I want you to see and understand and recognize. And then once they get into the door, that's when you start playing with this type of stuff with your alternates and everything.
Okay. Yeah, because with what I'm doing with the Entrepreneurs brand, it's, bro, I'm prepared for a complete rebranding. I'm not married to anything. I'm not married to any colors.
Okay.
What I want to do is have it to where, because you, as you know, I'm starting off with the hats. I want to have it to where Entrepreneurs is pronounced right, but somewhere indiscreet, maybe behind, the opening in the back of the head around that little circle, maybe that's where it says the Entrepreneurs Podcast. But I really want the Entrepreneurs to be pronounced, and I want the colors to, of course, I know whatever the brand logo is going to probably ultimately have like stationary colors, like what you have with the brand identity. But what I learned from you is every season there are different colors that are in. I want to be able to have these hats to where people, they may have never listened to an episode of the Entrepreneurs Podcast at all, but it just looks so cool and the colors match their shoes or the shirt they just bought.
So you want your merchandise you want it to feel more lifestyle than promoting. And
yes, the reason I wanted to promote indirectly, because so the way podcasts work, at least for now, is they don't necessarily check to see how long that somebody listened to the episode. They just count that it was downloaded. I want to get to the point to where people are going to be so attracted to these people's hats, and when they investigate it, they see that it's a podcast, and they're going to go to it, because a lot of people, when they see the name Entrepreneurs, they think it's like a business development for people who are in the lifestyle of going on nudist colonies, right? And I play around with that, but really it's because entrepreneurs are bearing it all, so it's like a play on words. So that's the way I want it. I want it to be like you said, a lifestyle brand that people, they wear because they like it, and probably 1 out of every 100 people that sees the hat is going to realize that it's a podcast.
Okay. Gotcha. So your logoing is going to be extremely important then, because you want it to be like, basically what I'm gathering, you want it to be, if you know, but you want it to be intriguing enough to where you want to know what that is. Hey, what's
Ooh,
that?
there you go.
What's
Yeah.
that? So then yeah, it like you said, it can't be too in your face with it. So we would have to start with the symbol first. Like like the font and all that stuff, that's super duper secondary because you can build that around your logo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we would need to, or I would need to brainstorm as for what would make sense for a logo for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as what you explained to me, the first thing that came to my mind was a dollar sign, like it's taking its clothes off, like taking the green. That's the first thing came to mind because it's playing on what you're playing on, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to create a question: what the fuck is that? Sorry for
Mm-hmm.
the. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Why is the dollar bill taking the green off and it's black up under it? And it's because
Mm-hmm.
that dollar's about to bear off. So that's the first thing came to mind. So it's got to be like in that realm. It doesn't have to be that, but like something like that where it's just like, wait a minute, what is that? What is that?
Oh, I
Like
like where your
even
mind is going.
yeah, like
Yes.
even with my logo, they're like, well, it's a greater than symbol, but they don't automatically say it's a greater than symbol. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, what does that even mean? It's greater than anything that stands to the left of it. You're greater than that thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, that's the whole point is that what you're doing and what you're wearing is greater than what anyone else is doing, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how that conversation gets started. So we got to figure out how to create that conversation of what is this? What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Um, and that was the first thing that kind of came to mind. Of course, I'm gonna do some more brainstorming as to kind of figure that out. But I think that's going to be where the direction you should go with that.
Yeah.
And my reasoning for that is, like I said, you want to be able to have something where it's recognizable from afar, and you get close enough, like, wait a minute, what is that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
So then
like it, man.
get
Oh
them to
yeah.
stop and at least have that conversation. Like, that's a cool hat. What does that symbol mean? Because a lot of the times people will jump on colors or how things are laid out. So long as you get those things down, like that's why I said that stuff is secondary. We can figure out the colors and stuff secondary because I understand color theory. So like that part's easy. It's about being able to garner that attention based off just seeing the logo once.
Yeah, bro.
Uh, so off the top of my head, that's the first one I'm thinking of. It's all going to be around money or handshakes or something like that, because those are things that's tied into doing business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, nudists get naked. That's the first thing that comes to my mind 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Noodles
hmm,
getting naked.
hmm, thinking.
Oh man, you might noodles getting naked. That sounds like a brand.
Mhm. Yeah. Or nudist bear all, like you said, nudist bear all. So like that can even be your byline for it. Like,
Yeah,
cause you already
because the byline is the Entrepreneurs Podcast, the place to hear real entrepreneurs and business owners bear it all. That's
got
that's that's the existing tag.
you. Right. Got you. That's a little long,
Oh no, no,
but
oh no, see, I think I confused the conversations. You talking about a tag for the to put on the hat.
or anywhere. So
Yeah,
example,
the
if you
brand.
if
Yeah,
you
all
go
right,
to
yeah.
if you
Yeah,
go to my
I see what you're
website, you
saying.
know how like in the tab it'll say like the website and then have like a little logo.
Yeah.
When you go to mine, it's the greater than symbol and it says by design. So Magnus is greater by design. It's better than you because I want it to be better than you.
Mm.
So like even with like entrepreneurs podcast, where money bears all, or where I don't know, something along the lines, even something short was like a catchphrase. So
Mm-hmm.
like I understand your byline, don't change it. But your catchphrase is something real short. That's exactly what it is. Like a witty punchline. That's all it really is. It ties into your title. And then
So
it's
is entrepreneurs bear all too long for what you're saying?
no, no, not at all. It can be entrepreneurs where we bear all.
Mm, yeah.
So, guess what that does? It explains your name too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see how you explained it to me right away. It's in the tagline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that makes it to where again, somebody that don't know you, your brand, or anything from a can of paint, real quick, what it is, real quick. This is for entrepreneurs. We're gonna give you all the secrets. We're gonna bear it all. So it's like it's real quick as hell. Boom, you got it. So like that's what you want to always do with branding. It like when I say like this sheet is your elevator pitch. You want to catch them with this. You don't want your elevator pitch to be so long they stop listening, right? So
Yeah.
you want to just catch them real quick, like boom. This is what I do. This is what it is. That's it. And then that's when they tell me more. Well, what
Mm-hmm.
do you mean by that? What do you mean by you barrel? Tell me more. So like that's what branding is. It's to garner interest in what the hell you're doing. So without someone knowing you at all, you want to be able to quickly tell them what you're doing and kind of hit that light bulb on them real quick. Like, ding, oh, that's what they're doing. Cool. Let me get in there. I'm very interested in that anyway. So
Mm.
then you got right in the door. Um, so we'll figure that out too.
Yeah, I
But
like
what
it. I like it.
so we gotta figure this logo out for you. So
And just to give you because I guess I don't because I know once we start talking about what they look like, I know that's gonna and then where it's being manufactured, that's going to determine the the unit price. But
not really.
you say not really?
Not really. One thing that I can pride myself on is no matter what a factory's MOQ is, I've always been able to negotiate it to what I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So if we do something overseas and you only want to make 20 of them, I can make that happen. If you want to make 200 happen, I can make that happen. You only want two of them, I can make that happen. Granted, that's going to vary in price, but it's not a problem for me making that happen. Now, other option we can do with it is buy pre-made hats and get them embroidered locally. That is an option for you as well. I've done both. I'm always going by default. I want to control everything, so I always make from scratch. Now, what that would look for you cost wise, if I had to guess, to buy pre-made dad hats, it probably costs you $5 a piece, $6 a piece. And then the embroidery will probably be like another $5, $6. So you're looking at about $10 to $12 a hat. If I was to do it overseas, it's probably gonna cost about the same with shipping and everything. It's gonna cost you about the same.
So what are the issues? Are there no issues of getting it made from scratch overseas?
The only issue that you would have is delays in shipping.
And how common is that?
With my hat person, not common at all. They usually send early. It depends on what you're doing. Like my shoe person, as crazy as it sounds, she's on time. My clothes guy, like makes my t-shirts and my hoodies and stuff like that, he's a month behind right now. A month and a half actually. So it's all depending on what we're doing. Like if you say, all right, I need some t-shirts, and I need it for this date, then that's when I say, all right, do local versus do it overseas. When you're doing it overseas, it's just going to give you more control of everything. You can pick every single thing on the hat. Versus if you go pre-made, is whatever you bought.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm thinking making it from scratch, right? Because I want it to look unique and I want you to have as many options available to you as possible. So that's what I'm thinking overseas. And as far as units, I heard what you said, MOQ, is that what you said? What that
Yeah.
mean?
minimum order quantity.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's like, so I just did an order this morning for shoelaces, and I ordered 275 pair. Their MOQ was 1,000 pair. I negotiated them down to the 200.
So
And but
so when dealing with manufacturers, is it expected, like for people who are listening to you and they trying to get where you at, is it expected that they negotiate the MOQ, or is that just does the manufacturer not look at you as being difficult for negotiating? Do they expect that?
it all depends on who you're talking to. If you're dealing with a small factory, then yeah, they don't really like to deal with hagglers. Um, big factories, that they're used to that. They because you got to keep in mind, like, big companies come to you with a budget. They say, this is what we want to spend on t-shirts, and that's the end of the discussion. And it's for them to figure it out. It's for the manufacturer to figure it out. So like if Nike went to a factory and say, make this shoe out of leopard skin, we're paying this much. It's for that factory to figure it out, or they'll just hire someone else. Like in the manufacturing game, especially overseas, it's a dime a dozen. It's plenty different manufacturers. If one don't work, you can find another. A lot of the game is the middleman. So a lot of the times you're speaking to the middleman that goes to the same factory. Some middlemen, they do a lot of sales, so they're gonna drop their nuts. Some don't. They brand new. They're gonna work with you. And then some, they just want to just have a bunch of sales. My shoe person, they just want to have a bunch of sales. So they work with me whatever number I give them, because I do 3-4 orders from them a month. And whenever she says I have a quota to meet, I'm this far off from my quota, I just say, all right, cool. Here's the money. Figure out, make me something that fits within that budget. So it's all about the relationship you have with the manufacturer. I have a relationship with the people, my consistent manufacturers, where I pay my manufacturers bonuses for doing their job on time or ahead of time. If I'm dealing with a middleman and they have a quota they have to meet to impress their boss, I ask them, what do you need to impress your boss? And I make sure I fall into that.
And that's because I think you kind of answered my next question, because I am, when you're good at negotiating, sometimes a person can leave your conversation not realizing they got beat down so much, right? Do you, and I was going to ask you, do you never get scared that they're going to reduce your quality because you beat them down so much? But it sounds like that won't happen, because even though they know they might be getting smaller margins, you set the expectation that when they deliver at good quality, you reward them.
Well, yeah. See, the thing is, and what I do in particular is that it's such a volatile business that people come and go. So like they may get a guy come in the door, I'm gonna spend $1 million with you, make all this stuff, and then you'll never hear from him again because he spent $1 million. He don't have $1 million to market it. He don't have a way to get it in front of people. He just got a bunch of product, and that happens a lot because you have so many people that view clothing and fashion as a get rich quick scheme. So you have it where people are, I got income tax money. I'm going to spend my income tax money and invest in making t-shirts. And then they don't have anything to follow that up with. For me, when I speak to a manufacturer, I don't just talk to them about one project. I talk to them about every single project for the entire quarter. Mm-hmm. So I'm showing you what money you're going to make off of me. This is what you're going to make off of me every single month for the next quarter. If you work with me, this money's guaranteed. So if that ends up being $1 million in that quarter, you still getting the same money you would have got from the dude that was flashing the paint. But I'm consistent, so I'm going to keep coming back to you to give you money over and over again. And that's where the value is for the manufacturer most of the time, is that they understand that so many people will come in, do one order, and they'll be done, and they won't hear from that person for a while. I'm going to come at you every single month. So every time you got to reach a quota every month, I'm right here waiting to help you meet it every month. not just once. So that's what's in it for them. I always make sure that whoever I'm working with, they know what's in it for them.
Cool. You make sure it's a mutually beneficial engagement.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you say for me, all right, for me, the first thing we're figuring out is the logo itself, like the top sheet, the top of this brand sheet.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's going to be top priority because that's going to get your hats made, and that's going to put it to where you can start transitioning your branding over. Because like, here's the new logo. Start pushing that, see how people respond to it, and everything like that. And then, okay, and here's the brand colors. Here's the brand slogan. Now, boom, everything's changed. Banners change, website change, everything's changed. But I've gradually got you into that.
Cool. All right. Yeah, man. Is there no additional information that you need from me in order to get started on that part?
You said you emailed me your old stuff. I didn't get it. Try to I don't know how we can
Well,
send it.
let me look at the email that I sent it to. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I sent it to magnusisgreater@gmail.
Let me check.
MAGNUSISGREATER@gmail.
Yeah, that's the email address.
Can you check your spam?
I'm about to do that now. Yeah. It went straight to spam.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Hey, look, I don't know what. And in fact, the first time you sent me this, it went to spam. It's great. That might be why I never started on it the first time. Now that I think about it.
That man don't follow up.
I am bad at that. And I think when we was talking about it originally, I was like in the middle of traveling or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were transitioning.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna try to get on it. But I was traveling, and that's when I first launched my first sneaker. I was all around the same time. So it just fell through the cracks. And I do apologize for that. But I got it now.
Oh no, it's all good, bro. Because at the time, I my mind would have probably been on something completely different. But at this point, I'm completely open into a complete rebranding of the podcast and you know and the what I put out because once again the way this podcast market works is they just got to listen to it once. Because what happens is the bigger your catalog gets, people they come in like off an emotional hit, like boom, they just saw one of the coolest hats they've ever seen, right? Yeah. And they'll download your whole catalog right there. And then listen to it over time, or maybe listen to a couple episodes and never listen again. But by that time, your statistics show that you're moving hundreds and hundreds of downloads, and then of course that helps your being able to get people to market on you, and it helps all the other stuff that come along with podcasts. So yeah, that's where I'm at this point. I'm like, all right, let's create something functional, but also invites people to give me some free downloads.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So here's the roadmap that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Let's get your logo out of the way. We'll get that done. And then of course I'll make up a mock-up for the hat. So then you kind of we'll go through different ideas concerning the hat. We'll figure out your brand colors and your font. And then what I would like to do is make your cover art for your podcast every week, a template for it. So then at that point, it'll just be a matter of just changing what it says on there per week in the background photo. Then you're done.
This man here. Oh my.
You have consistent branding across the board. So then even when they see cover art, they know it's yours.
Man, yeah, bro. Yeah, you in my head, and you making me think outside the box. Is this not something that, because I know we've been friends for so long, so you look at, you giving me some of your valuable time, but is this not something that you do for other companies?
Here and there, but not on a consistent basis, if I'm being honest.
Okay, got it. So I recently had one of my one of my podcast guests reached out to me, and they politely asked me to take their episode down because they keep getting phone calls about their business, and their business model has changed. So it's
Uh-huh.
like they're like, man, I'm getting too many phone calls, right? So it sounds like you're saying, hey, they might like how you think and that you have this unique skill set, but you're not really looking for no calls on consulting on this type of stuff.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all, but I'm in a space where I pick who I'm willing to consult with
Got it.
because
Understood.
this is like prong 4 or 5 of what I do. So like I understand, like when I do this, it's more than just business for me. Like I believe in what I'm only going to do if I believe in what you're doing. I
Got it.
guess is a way to put it. Like how Jay-Z will only do verses with people he likes. I only will do it with people that I'm willing to work with. And I know that's cutting myself off at the nose or leaving money on the table, but I'm cool with leaving that money on the table.
Yeah, that's a higher. That's probably the highest form of thinking. Like at this point, the people that I partner with, because a lot of the people that I hang around, we all own our own businesses. So
Mm-hmm.
when we work together, we're partnering with each other, and it's only the people I like. Like it's plenty of free meals in this industry, but if a person doesn't seem like somebody that's genuine, I don't care about a free steak. I'm only hanging out with people that I like. And it sounds like that's the way you think. You only are consulting, sharing your knowledge with people that you like and that you believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like the best way to put it is I can either charge people by the hour, by the session, and if I don't believe in what you're doing and I think you're just running your mouth, it's probably going to take me way more time to get it done than it would be somebody that I believe in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough background and understanding of what you're trying to do and what your goals are to where you see how I'm giving you stuff like you should do this. One of the things I know about you is you want things to transition and be done easily. So the
Yeah.
only way to do that is to prepare you to where it's just drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. So I understand that. I'm not interested in sitting down and having a 2-3 hour conversation with somebody to figure them out to then know what to do for them. Because I'm sorry, I'm charging you for that 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I would rather, because it's frustrating too. Because like
Yeah.
imagine if somebody I don't know for a can of paint and I do all of this for them and they're like, I don't like none of that. That's because
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about you.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about you. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know how you handle business. Because all those things speak to this stuff. All of that stuff speaks to that stuff. Like, so like if you're a person that's real professional, real classy, you don't want to have some big, wild, crazy fonts and stuff all over the place. That looks childish. That's not even your demographic, right? So
No.
like, so like for me, I would rather be in company or partner with someone. That's the best way to put it. I would rather partner with someone than consult.
Mm. Got it.
I'd rather partner with someone. And that doesn't mean it's a no to everybody, but I get approached with a lot of BS ideas, just as sure as you do.
Yeah.
Um, like I had a guy approach me, said, I want to make a shirt that's called the Cookie Man. And that's it. And I was like, so what do you want to do? Just have Cookie Man on the shirt, different colors. Sir, leave me alone and go get your vinyl.
Evacuate.
Yeah, like what I do is way beyond what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I'm a bad bitch that knows my worth. That's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sitting at a table with the others. And that
Mm-hmm.
and as mean as that sounds, like like the lower level people got to get there somewhere. I'm just
Yeah.
not the person that can help them get there. because at the end of the day, there's certain steps you should probably already have done on your own. And I don't think I'm in a position to ground level someone to the top, if I'm being honest. Like
Perfect.
if you got something for me to work with, I can work with.
Now that makes a lot of sense, man. And bro, what I like about talking to people like you is a lot of the stuff that's commonplace to you. I'm pretty sure anybody listening or watching this, and by the way, if you're listening to this, you can always watch the video version. All you got to do is go to the description, and usually the URL link for the video is there. But anybody that's listening or watching this, like you done drop some bombs. I think, yeah, like you said, I'm down with the roadmap, and you know, let me know what I need, whatever I need to do next. Do you not want to show any line that you got coming out or already out, or are you good on that?
No, I'm cool because everything I got. No, me and you have talked offline,
Yeah.
and we had discussions about
Oh
different
yeah.
lines.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Like it is, I can't be mad if I see it out in the public if I'm putting it out in the public.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
That is correct, bro. That
Yeah,
is
so
correct.
I'm
Oh
just
yeah. So
trying to
once
make sure
they
these
once it
trade
drop, they can just
yes.
see me and once it drop, then that's when they'll see it. I got it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna do promotion and everything like that. I'm actually speaking with a marketing company now to do that. It's just that how I was handling things beforehand, people were seeing things at the prototype level.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
You know, so like what I have in the, I'm just stacking inventory right now. I really want to be able to have stuff in people's hands in 2 days. I'm trying to Amazon my shit moving forward. I'm trying to be like Amazon with my brand.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people that deal with creative designers like you. They're used to the pre-order process typically, right? To where they're waiting 2 to 3 months, maybe sometimes longer for their product. But it sounds like you're saying, even though your crowd is used to that, you're going to bring them that uniqueness, but still get it to them within 2 to 7 shipping days.
I'm trying to have it in their hands in 2 to 4.
Got it.
And my reasoning for that is very simple. I have a brand that's very unique. I understand that. So I'm not going to ask someone to wait on that uniqueness. They might be buying that to wear the following day for all that matter. I don't know that. So I'm going to speak to instant gratification, whether the person's interested in that or not.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to feel your money, and I want you to feel it immediately. Because what happens with pre-orders is you put that money up, and a lot of times the money already gone. You don't care about it no more. So when the shirt or pants or whatever comes 2-3 months from now, like, oh, okay, you're not excited about it anymore. I want to catch you right within that excitement. And a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing moving forward is designed to create impulse buy. So impulse buys don't feel good when you have to wait 3-4 months for them.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like how like whenever I'm checking out a card from Vistaprint, as soon as I order everything I think I want, soon as I give them my card and I pay for it, and they say, hey, by the way, if you buy this in 20 more minutes, then you get it for this much. Is that how it's gonna work?
All of that. All of that.
All of that.
You buy a hood, I got matching pants. Come on and get this 20% off. Hit the time, get it done. And you'll have this all in 4 days tops. Because at the end of the day, I could keep going with the pre-order model, but at the end of the day, it only works if you have a pipeline that is bulletproof. It only takes one part of your supply line to mess up, and it messes up the whole pre-order. Like if I pre-order a shoe and it's taking them an extra 3 weeks to dye the shoelace, because everything I make is from scratch. Even the shoelaces get dyed for me. Like everything's done from scratch. It takes them an extra 2-3 weeks. Guess what? Now my shoes don't have shoelaces. I can't send them out. So like, the only way a pre-order system works is if everything's being done by that one person, like by that one manufacturer. So if you're pre-ordering a t-shirt, cool, you can do that. I was pre-ordering collections, hoodies, sweatpants, jackets, shoes, hats, all of that. And that makes it to where one thing can mess up the whole collection.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to get into.
So you about to eliminate all the stress. It seemed like, because you be knowing what the colors are going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, seems like, right? So it seems like what you're going to say is you're going to use all that knowledge to get all of get all of the uncertainties, the volatility out the way. So by the time they do order it for that season, you got everything in stock. They get all this uniqueness on time without the way.
Absolutely.
Got it. Oh yeah, I'm with that. That sounds cool, bro.
Because the best way to put it is summer, everything for the summer, I am 60% with building the inventory. Like I have 60% of my stuff for the summer sitting in the warehouse right now. The other 40 I should have in 2 weeks. So summer's done. Everything for the summer I already have. I'll start working on Halloween in the fall on the 15th of this month.
Bet.
So then when fall rolls around, it's there. So it's a matter of just pulling it off the shelf and sending it. And I can afford to do that. Like a lot of people that starting out, they can't afford to stack inventory. So that's why pre-orders work. Pre-order is the easiest way to start a business in the field that I do without spending a dime. Mm-hmm. You can start a clothing brand with $100 if you really want to. If you really wanted to, the easiest way, we probably should do that in a different conversation, but you definitely can do that for $100 easily. It's how I started my brand. I started my brand with $50.
No, it's true. I mean, if you want, man, you could tell them. It sounds like you're saying you can drop a gem to how somebody can start a brand with $100 or less.
Yeah, it's real easy. Get your website. Cost you what, $20 up front to get what is it, Shopify or whatever it's called. My site's built from scratch. I don't use any platforms, but I believe it's Shopify. That's where all the they use Shopify. Shopify site costs you $20 a month. So that's $20 out of your 100. So now you're down to 80. Buy you a single color screen printing press. That's gonna cost you $50. So you just spent 70. Then do a pre-order. Do your real simple shirt that costs maybe $20, like retail, and do the you don't even have to buy the shirt ahead of time. So you got your screen printing press, you got your website to sell it on, your social media is free. Make you one shirt, that probably costs you $3 for a guild and another $5, $5 to $10, because you're doing it yourself, right? Mm-hmm. You cut out a lot of the stuff, so you probably can do it for like $75. Start a brand.
So it sounds like one of those shirts that got like a cool saying on it, right? Like like something that's real popular, trending saying, like
that's the old way of doing it. No, you can do something. Nah, you can do something real cool. Do something real cool, man. Super simple to do. I'll share something. This month, I'm releasing a collection to celebrate the Latina artist Selena. Mm-hmm. One of the t-shirts that I designed for this collection requires one screen to make. That's it. And it's a realistic picture of her. And the picture's made out of dots.
They're made out of what?
Individual dots make the picture. It's called halftone. That's the technology that it's called. So when I designed the picture of her, it's instead of it being lines and shading and all of that to make the picture, it's all dots to do that. And those dots are close enough to where you can't really even tell the difference. So when you go to screen print it, I just need one screen and white screen printing it. That's it. So just like the model I just told you, like, oh, just put a little slogan on the front of the shirt. Yeah, that's the dumb person's way of doing it. That's the person that's trying to get $1 real quick. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to have something of longevity and be unique, you can definitely make very cool and unique things with one color.
Got it. And, and,
So
and and what's your website?
magnusisgreater.com. It's disabled right now because I'm building inventory.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. This is an evergreen content. By the time people see this, your site is gonna be back up and running. So
Yeah.
how you spell that?
MagnusIsGreater.
.com.
Yes,
Bet.
sir.
All right, bro. So let me go ahead and shut this down. I want to show you something that I've been working on offline too. All right. Yo, appreciate it, boss. Xavier Eubanks, Madness is greater.
Right, man.